The Somali terrorist group Al-Shabaab claimed responsibility for an attack at a Mogadishu hotel this week that killed dozens of people. KPBS reporter Amita Sharmin spoke to Somali Abdi Mohamoud. He runs the Horn of Africa Community Center in San Diego. He spoke about the attack and his concerns over potential Al-Shabaab recruitment of local Somalis.
33 people have been killed in a Mogadishu hotel. The terrorist group Al-Shabaab has claimed responsibility. What's your reaction? What's your response to these attacks?
You know, these are very horrible actions. Much of our community in San Diego is really horrified, and it's a big picture that's very too grim. It's a reality that's ever present in modern-day Somalia. And it has evolved from something that's not as harmful to what it is today. And I think that the international community should help the people of Somalia get a grip on this problem.
The United States has designated Al-Shabaab a terrorist group. Intelligence officials are worried about recruitment efforts by Al-Shabaab within Somalian communities here in the States. What do you think of those concerns?
You know, it is very alarming because most of the people that are resided in the United States are people that have fled, terror and violence, and many of them, their families have been killed. So for their, kids that are here first generation, for them to be, again, attempted to be brought back to Somalia and have the problems to be involved, it is very tragic, and the families are they're all aware of this, and they're keeping very close eye on their children. In San Diego, we've been fortunate that we have not had any situations that where young men have been recruited into Somalia, but we're working with law enforcement, we're working with the police in trying to make sure this does not happen.
Now, there was a San Diego man whom federal prosecutors say has maybe fought alongside Al-Shabaab. His name is Jihad Mustafa. He's not of Somalian descent. Have you heard of circumstances of active recruitment by Al-Shabaab within San Diego?
I have not heard of it, and neither have any other community members. When they do these sort of things where they're trying to recruit people, they do it in a very low key because it's not something that's very popular. Al-Shabaab is unanimously rejected by Somali society in general, and you can see the tactics they're resorting to. They don't have much of a military capacity, and so these spectacular terrorist acts is something that they can carry out, and for them to be recruiting is something that's very alarming, but it's not something that they would do it openly.
So you run the Horn of Africa Community Center, which a lot of people within the Somalian community access. Do you have a strategy, or are there particular points that you make to people in the community about protecting oneself from these elements?
Well, we work very closely with the parents and also community leaders, religious leaders, and I think it's besides our community, we are also actively collaborating and working with law enforcement to make sure this does not happen, to make sure that families don't fall victim to the tragedies that are taking place. And so it's a community-wide effort, and it's also a law enforcement issue. And I think if we put all those together, we hope that we can be successful in the future.
And how does one make the young men and women within a community immune to recruitment by terrorist groups?
I think that one of the first things is that to have a stable family, to have a strong connection with the community, to have friends, and also to have a future. Maybe they're going to school, maybe they have a job, but sort of a sense of life, a sense of, I have a future. Many of the kids, which are overwhelmingly in that category, they would probably be very immune, and none of the cases that we have heard so far were kids that fit that mold.
Abdi Mohamoud, thank you so much for speaking to me.
You're welcome.